everybody, Pam Asbury here with another DIY showing you how to embellish your lighted Christmas garland with some deco mesh and some ribbon. Make sure you hit subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll get notifications each time I upload a video. Here we go. And you want to start out by just pulling out these wired branches so they look pretty, because you know when you're storing them through the year after Christmas, they get a little flat. So you just want to pull them out and get them unflat. So we're going to be adding first of all the deco mesh. So this garland is about 6 feet long. I've kind of pushed it down here to get it out of my way. So to make the poofs, you just want to gather this together. Just wad it there like that. You want to start on one end. So I am going to use a zip tie to get started with, just to make sure it's good and secure on this garland. I think it's a little bit more fluffier. And then just take your fuzzy stick, paper, pipe cleaner, whatever you call them, and twist it. You have a little ruffle. You put your ruffles. I'm going to put them on there like that. Maybe like this. And then I'm going to put a bow there as well. So I think I'll do all that in one. And I'm going to use this Bowdabra. Remember I told you I use my Bowdabra for a lot of things, including making bows. Just put that in there like that. Let it hold there for me. And then I'll get a couple of ribbons. Thinking about doing a 14-inch ribbon. So I just made this little cardboard, nothing fancy, to make a few of these. And you just twist them on here like this. 2, 3, I'm just going to do 4. Cut them there, and then there. And then you have 14-inch ribbons. Pretty quick. I'm going to dovetail those ribbons. So like I told you, I have carpal tunnel, so I can't do very many at a time. But you just half them, and you can fold them and half them again, but I don't want them very thick because I have a hard time cutting through them because I have carpal tunnel. So just have to be a little slower at it. Just do that, half it, and make your cut. And you've got your dovetails. So let's do these. Actually, I looked outside a few minutes ago and it's snowing. That's just not what I wanted to see. It rained all morning. Now it has turned to snow. I wouldn't mind having a little bit of snow when Christmas gets here, but until then, I'd like it to be a warmer weather. Don't know about you. Okay, so there are all of our ribbons dovetailed. And I'm just going to add a couple of these ribbons to my ruffle, like that. Then I'll pull it up and pipe cleaner, fuzzy stick, Chanel stem it to the ruffle. Twist it a few times. And then once I get them on there, I'll play with them a little bit. But basically you see what we're going for. And then you can use that Chanel stem to fasten it to your garland. There you have it. So I'm going to do that all the way down every other one, because then I want to do a bow in every other one. So I'll have a bow, just the ribbon, a bow, ribbon, bow, ribbon, bow, ribbon. So I'm going to go off camera to finish that. So I'll be right back. And I'm doing these 20 inches long. So just that simple of a cut. And then I'm going to cut some ribbons 14 inches long. And one of the ways you can do your ribbons to, if you have a lot of ribbons that you want to cut, you can use, and I just use a piece of cardboard. This isn't the right size, but I think it's over there underneath some things. But you can just put it on cardboard, like whatever inches, like this one's a 10-inch piece of cardboard. And just wrap your ribbon around there. So each ribbon is 10 inches. So you can see how you do that. And then you can just snip it on the ends and voila, you have your ribbons. So that's an easy hack to make sure you can do a bunch of ribbons at once. But I'll need, let's see, I'm gonna do every other one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll need 4 sets of ribbons. Okay, so this is my ruffle. And to make the ruffle, I'm just gonna set the piece of deco mesh out, and then I'm gonna just gather it up the middle, just to make that ruffle up a little bit. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. This is my favorite way, because I think it ruffles it a little bit more. You can fold it, you can just grab it with your hands and twist it. But I really like this method, because you can see it makes a nice little ruffle. Now remember, here's my Bowdabra. I told you I use it for a lot of things. This is one of them, holding things for me. So there's my ribbon, or my ruffle, sorry. Now I'm gonna add some ribbon to it, and I cut, oh, here's my 14-inch one. I cut 14-inch ribbons out of these 3 colors, And I'm just going to stack them on top of one another. Pinch them in the middle, and I just eyeball that, and then give it a couple of twists, just so it's like that. Then I'm going to add that down into my Bowdabra. And then I cut pipe cleaners in half, and I'm going to use those to hold it all together. So just bring it together, and then you just give it a couple of twists. Like I said, I'm going to do every other one here on my, let's see if I can pull this into view a little bit better, on my garland. So I've got the ruffle and the ribbons, and I'm just going to attach them with that pipe cleaner. I keep wanting to call that a paper clip. With the pipe cleaner. And you just put it on there and give it a couple little twists to twist it in tight. And then you have it like this. And you're going to want to just pull out your ribbons. Spread them out just a little bit. And I'm going to do every other one. So I'm going to go off camera to finish this, but that's the concept. You've got your ruffle and then 3 ribbons. Okay, so here we are back, and I finished the ribbons with the ruffles, and I ended up adding another blue ruffle there. I mean, that's definitely optional. I just wanted it to be a little more fluffier. So now I'm going to start making the bows, and I'm going to do like some really big bows on the ends, and then an even bigger bow to hit right in the middle. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places I'm going to do bows. So let's do the smaller bows first, and I'm going to use this Bowdabra, and mainly because I want to show my sister how to use it. So I'm going to do my bows on my smaller bows, just 2 different ones, and I think I'm going to use these 2 ribbons. So we'll do the bottom part first, and we need some Bowdabra wire, or you can use a paper or a pipe cleaner. I think I'll use a pipe cleaner so they'll match. So we put our pipe cleaner down inside of the Bowdabra. You want to do that first. So you lay it down inside like that. And then if you want to have tails, and I'm going to have tails on this one, you'll just figure about how long you want your tail to be, and just twist it and push it down into the Bowdabra. So there's my tail. And then remember, we always want the ribbon to show on the right side once we twist it. So you'll twist it down in there so it's the wrong side showing, and then you're going to bring it back over, scrunch it, and push it back down in there. So now you've got your right sides of your bow showing. Now, I don't know how big of a bow you want to make, but I'm going to make a pretty large bow on this. So I'm not really sure. It's about a 6-inch bow, I think. So then again, I want to twist it so it's the wrong side of the ribbon showing. and then bring it over so the right side of the ribbon is showing, and slide it down in there. And here you want to make sure that each side is about the same length, because you don't want to have a lopsided bow. So you might have to pull it a little bit to get it where you want it, but once you get it started, it goes pretty quickly. So you see those look like they're just about the same length on each side. So again, I'm going to twist it so the wrong side of the bow is up, and then I'm going to fold it over, push it down into my Bowdabra, and make it the same exact length as my first loop. Okay, so here we go again. I'm going to twist it so the wrong side is showing. Fold it over on itself. Slide it down into the Bowdabra and then move it around till it's the exact same length as your first one. So now we have 2 sides to the bow. I'm going to do 3 loops. Again, twist it till the wrong side is showing. Then fold it over on itself. Slide it into the Bowdabra, making sure that each loop is the same size so you don't have a lopsided bow. Let's do that last loop. Twist it. Wrong side of the ribbon is showing. Flip it over. Slide it down. Measure it. So there we're going to have three loops on each side, and then I want to bring down another tail. Now I want my tail to actually have 3 tails for this one, so I'm going to loop it back up into the Bowdabra, slide it down, and I'm going to cut that once I get done. So I'll have 3 tails of this color ribbon. All right, so I'm going to just snip the ribbon off, and you can always trim it a little bit more later. We'll just start with there. All right, so there's 3 loops and 3 tails. So now let's do this smaller ribbon. And I'm going to do it a little smaller on the inside of this bow. So I'll have 2 colors of bow. So again, I'm going to do a tail. I'm going to snip this off because where it was folded, it'll have a fold in it, and I don't want it to have a fold in it. So there we've got our first tail. We're going to pinch it and twist it so it's the wrong side of the ribbon showing up. So we want the pretty side to show for our bow. Then I want to slide it down in there. I'm going to do this just a tad bit smaller, maybe a ½ inch or not quite an inch. So here we go again. We're going to twist it so the wrong side is showing up. Sometimes these ribbons are hard to tell. Okay, this is the wrong side. And then fold it over, slide it back down into your Bowdabra. You want to make sure your loops are the same size. Smaller loops. Be a little larger. And you just keep doing that. Twist it, slide it down, make sure the loop is the right size. twist it so the wrong side is up. Fold it over to see the right side. Measure it. Let's do it again. Twist it. Sometimes you don't have to twist it, it's already twisted, but just make sure that your right side of your ribbon is showing once you got your loop there. Twist it, measure it, slide it into your Bowdabra. Okay, so now we've got 3 on each side, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to make 2 tails. So, and you can also put a little if you want to have a little, I can't think of what that's called. I'm terrible with words today. I don't know. But a smaller inside, you can do it that way. Just hold it back like that. And then just clip it off. And like I said, we can trim this later. Then you've got a little piece that came with your Bowdabra. And you want to just smash it all down really tight with that little piece. Take it out. Pull it up with your pipe cleaner, and I'm just going to tie it here with the pipe cleaner. But you can use your Bowdabra stuff, or oops, I didn't get that over there. Or floral wire too. You can use that. Whichever works for your project. Tie it off really tight. And then this is what I'm going to use. Oh, sorry. This is what I'm going to use for my to attach it to the garland. So now we need to fix it. I'm going to twist it around just to make sure it's really good and tight, because that's the key, making sure it's tight. And then you want to fluff it out. Well, before you fluff it out, let's cut these tails that we made. These are terrible scissors. I don't see my good ones. Probably underneath all this stuff. And then if you want to dovetail, you just hold them together and fold them on each other like that, and then take your scissors and cut them in an angle, and that gives you that nice pretty dovetail. So just fold them in half and then cut them from the end going up into an angle, and then you have that pretty dovetail. Fold it. You want to make sure you keep it as halved, because if you don't, your dovetail will be lopsided. And then from the end up in an angle, and there's your dovetail. Okay. So that's how you make a bow, and then you just want to fluff it out. This is really pretty ribbon. I think Kyla's going to really love it. And then I made that little center loop. So you can play with it, make it as full as you want. Move the loops around to make them look like you want them to look. But I like having just a few more extra tails hanging down from my ribbon. So that's why I did those extra ones on that one side. But then they all come together. So I'm just going to put that. We'll start it right here on this end. And put it around the garland. And tie it off. Twist, twist, twist. To keep it secure. So I'm going to do the rest of these. There's going to be one on each end and one in the middle. So I'm going to go off camera to make the end one, and I'll come back to make the center one. Okay, so now I'm ready to add that big bow that I want to do right in the center of this garland. And this bow is actually going to be 4 ribbons. So the bottom of the bow is going to be this color, followed by this, and then thirdly this, and the last one on the top will be that one. So I'm going to move these to the floor so I'm not dragging them across the garland like I was before, to make it a little easier, hopefully, to make the bow. So this is that center bow right in the middle of the lighted garland. So again, I'm going to start. I'm going to make the tails a little bit longer this time because I really want them to, and then we can always cut them off once I get it situated there. Now I start with this pipe cleaner. I'm going to put that in first. And then, you know, actually, because this is such a thick bow, I think I'm going to actually use the Bowdabra wire for it because I can tie it a little tighter. So, let me find the end because I'm so organized here. And I always try to make it just a little bit longer than I think I'm going to need. Just cut your wire. And then you want to place it into your Bowdabra like this. You might want to go ahead and just tuck those ends under just to keep them out of your way while you're making your bow. Okay, so again, I'm going to start with this color, and I want my tails to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to pinch it off and just slide it down into the Bowdabra with the pretty end facing me, the pretty side facing me. And then I want to start my loops. I'm going to turn it, twist it, because I want that loop to be the wrong side on the bottom, because I'm going to fold it over on itself so it's the right side showing. And let's make this loop just about like that. And you can always like pull it up to measure it that way as well. Now remember, we want our second side loop to match. So I'm going to twist it into that Bowdabra, wrong side facing up, fold it over on each other, and I'm just going to barely scrunch it until I get to the right size, because I don't want to scrunch it up and then have to move it out or anything like that. So you can bring them up like that. See how that one's a little bit bigger? So I need to make it a little smaller. Just pull it through a little bit. Make it a little smaller. Still just a tad bit bigger. That should do. And then you want to push it down in there, twist it again. You always want to start with a twist. The twisting is what helps that bow get fuller, I think, as you go. Okay, so twist it, fold it over on itself with the right side up, making sure it's the same size as the one before. Punch it down in there, twist it again, wrong side up, making sure it's the right size as the one before. Press it down in there. We're going to do 3 loops. Twist it. Fold it on each other, making sure it's the right size. And then the last loop of this color, twisting it to the wrong side, folding it over, and then remember I'm going to do an extra tail. So there's 2 tails, and I'm just going to loop it back around here to get the 3rd tail and just stick it through. And then when it comes down to it, I'll cut it. So I'm ready to cut that off. Just scrunch it down in there. Here's my good scissors. I've been looking for those. And if it's too long, you can always trim it if it shows, but I'm just gonna leave it there for now. And I'm gonna go ahead and trim or cut my tail here. This it's very glittery, so I will be very glittery when we're done. So that makes 3 tails there. Now you could, at this point, go ahead and do your dovetail. You fold them together, then the side that's open, this open side where it folded together, you want to go down to the bottom and make a cut going angled up like that, and then see when it opens up, it's a dovetail. The same again, fold it over. You're going to cut on the open side. Now, if you would cut on this folded side, it would give you a point and not a dovetail. So just from the open side, angle up, cut, and there's your dovetail. Let's do that again. Fold your ribbon in half on the sides that are open, not the folded side. You angle your scissors and cut up. There's your dovetail. Pretty easy. All right, let's go with our next color. And we decided to do the colorful one for this one. So again, this time I think I'm gonna start with my 1 ribbon on the left instead of the right. Make it about the same length. And that's just so I'm not going to get so many ribbons on one side to have to pull over. So twist it up, bottoms up. And I'm going to make this one just a little bit smaller. Not much, just maybe a ½ inch smaller. And then down into your Bowdabra. Twisting it again, bottoms up, wrong side facing up, fold it over on each side, on itself, down through the Bowdabra, and again, just a little bit smaller. Just test that and make sure they're close to one another. little too big there. Let's pull it in just a tiny bit. Okay, so that looks better. All right, here we go again. Bottoms up, twist, bottoms up, fold it over on itself. Making it the same size as the one underneath. Twist, bottoms up. Last one on this side, twist, bottoms up, fold it over, down into the Bowdabra. And the third one, twist, bottoms up, okay, so there. 3 on each side. I'm going to make the extended tail. Cut it. Now, once it gets in there, I can twist it the way I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Then I can twist it so it's face up. Let's dovetail those. Fold them together on the side that is open. That's where you want to place your scissors. Cut at an angle going up. There's your dovetail. Let's do that 2 more times. Fold the ribbon in half. Cut. Dovetail. And then here again. Okay. So now let's go with our third ribbon. And that's going to be this one. This was kind of hard to tell the right side from the wrong side. But again, we're going to want to start. Let's start on this side with and twist it to the wrong side. And this time I'm going to come just a little bit into because I want it just a little bit smaller than my second ribbon. I'm just getting smaller each ribbon. Twist. Like I said, this ribbon is really hard, especially when the light's on it, to tell which side is the right side and which side is the wrong side. So let's just try to measure here without dropping anything. That's pretty close. Twist. Twist it a little bit more because it's wrong side up. Make sure it's twisted. Measure it to the one below it. Push it down. Okay, the third one here, let's twist it. Putting the wrong side up. Folding it over. Twist. Wrong side up. Fold it over. Then I'm going to do that double tail. for this one as well. Lots of tails coming off here. I just think that'll be really pretty. Cut it to make the two. May need to turn it a little bit. I'm telling you, that is hard to tell the difference. Okay, so there we go with that one. Now we're gonna add that fourth color, which is the silver color. Start on this side with it. Through there, twist it, bottoms up. And again, I'm going to make that one too, just a tad bit smaller than my third ribbon. Twist it, bottoms up. Make sure your two ribbons are the same size. Two loops, I guess I should say. Again, you want to twist it. To it, the wrong side. Twist, wrong side up, fold it over on itself, push it down in the Bowdabra. Okay, let's do one more loop on each side. It's going to be a big bow in the middle. It's the focal point, so I want it to be really pretty. And then I'm going to make that double tail. And they're all not the same length. Oh, and I want to do a little loop for a center loop. So it's just a really small loop. Doing the same exact thing, only just a lot smaller. And then I will cut it. I could actually have done that other tail that way. Okay, so those are all of our loops, our tails. We're going to use our little masher, scruncher, whatever it's called, and we're going to go straight down in there and just rock it and push it down. You want it to be tight against each other. And then I'm going to tie the Bowdabra string. Now, you can loop this, and I didn't do that. I should have done that. I'll have to show you how to do that on another video. But this one I'm just going to tie. So, as tightly as you can, because that's the key for it to be really tight. Okay. You can even use zip ties on this to get it a little tighter if you'd like. And I think maybe I'll do that. Just go ahead and tie it to hold it and then zip tie it as well. Where are my zip ties? I don't know, I might not have a big enough one down here. I don't know if this one's big enough. It's not. But you could zip tie it and make it a little tighter. I just don't have a big enough one here. So there's your bow. And you're going to want to fluff it out. Finish your dovetails. see, I didn't do my dovetails on this color. I got ahead of myself. Doesn't matter which way you fold it, you're going to get the same cut. But just make sure it's folded half and half, because if you don't, you'll have a lopsided cut. All right, so I'm going to scrunch this out using my hands. I'm going to trim this little edge off that I finished up with for my center of the bow. And I'm just going to start at the bottom, holding just straighten, pull them out from one another, and then once you get them pulled out, you can place them where you want, and then, you know, fluff them a little bit. That's what's great about wired ribbon. You can fluff it and move it, place it where you want it to be. Some of those down here lower. And I could do that. I could keep playing with it forever, but for time's sake, I know you don't want to watch me do that, because I'm sure once I get it tied on there, I'll do it again. I'll move things around. And then see, you can see where I've cut that. So that needs to be trimmed a little bit. Cut that a little long. You see, you can, and then there's a number of things you can do to make these roll up too and be really pretty, and I'll show those to you in just a few seconds as soon as I get it attached. But I'm just going to attach it there at the middle. And so if you want your ribbons to be a little spiral, you can roll them in just a little bit, just really lightly like this, and then just pull them out. And that gives that little spiral effect. So just roll them in, just really gently. You don't have to do it very tight. And then just pull them out to get that spiral effect. So I'll get this on her mantle and then take another video. I decided to add some bulbs to the part where I didn't have ribbons. And I just took an old Christmas ornament that I had, and I took the tops off them. And I'm going to take some glue, some hot glue, and I'm just going to add it to the top there. Well, it's not on. But I'll just add it to the top there and then glue it in like that. Okay, so now that my glue gun is heated up, I can show you what I do. So I just take this ornament, I took the top off, and I'm just going to go around it with glue and then just sit it right inside the middle of those ribbons. This one looks like it's had better days, but you're not going to see that. It's repurposed. Same here. Glue it down in the middle of there. And then I did that last one. Okay, we're ready to go put it on her mantle. Okay, it's all finished and up on her mantle. And it looks so pretty. Look at that big bow. A very inexpensive DIY for your garland. And all of the ribbon came from Sam's Club.